From the Kiss 92.5 studios in Toronto, Canada.
Ladies and gentlemen,
this is Roz and Mocha.
it's Roz Mocha. What's going on?
Hey guys, this is Bruno Mars.
This is Selena Gomez.
The Chainsmokers.
Lady Gaga.
Calvin Harris.
Celestia Cara.
This is Ed Sheeran.
You're listening to my boys Roz and Mocha.
Roz and Mocha.
My boys Roz and Mocha.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
Roz. Mocha. I just Mocha. You guys are so funny, man.
Congratulations, Lisa! Wow! You just won $1,000.
That's amazing. Y'all just made my entire morning. Keep it up.
You guys are awesome, man.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
All right. Hey, Mocha.
Yeah.
You ready?
Let's do the news!
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
News break.
Air Canada says that some operations will start to be affected today as time is running out before a potential shutdown because of a labor dispute with their pilots. The airline on Thursday called for the government to be ready to intervene.
What are they going to do, though?
Well, they can back to work stuff. I don't know what they can do. It should be an essential service, I guess. But this will affect or could affect the 110 travelers that Air Canada moves every single day, under 110,000 travelers that Air Canada moves every single day. The airline and the pilots will be in a position to strike starting on Sunday to issue their 72-hour notice of a lockout. The airline has said that the notice would then trigger a 3-day wind-down plan and start the clock on a full work stoppage. So Sunday is the hour. Sunday's the day for the 72-hour notice period. The airline says that the union is being inflexible with unreasonable wage demands, and the union has said that it is now that it's corporate greed, actually, and not their demands that is holding up these strike talks. So they haven't talked for a while, but I think that flights are already I think that things are being affected today, at least at Pearson. I think it's already
WestJet did that
started.
we're on strike summertime, right? That lasted, I think, like a week.
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
And that was a whole mess.
It was a whole
mess. This was Air Canada?
Bro, this is going to be a whole mess.
bad.
And then I think that the Boeing technicians or something like that also went on strike.
Oh,
I don't even know
Oh,
what's
them
going
too?
on. Yeah. I don't even
So
know
it's
what's
the
going
pilots
on.
and the mechanics.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's happening, man.
Oh my God.
All I know is that don't book anything. I wouldn't book anything.
What if you have like an important event coming up that you have to be there
Fly another airline. Drive
What would
to
happen if we decided to strike?
who, us? Based on
Yeah,
what? You don't have a
the show.
union. What are you going to do? Just not show up to work? They'll fire you. Well, unless you want to start a union. Want to start the
Guys,
Roz and Mocha union?
Yeah, should we?
Yeah.
It's just the five of us?
Yeah.
No more allowed. No new members, just us.
Yeah, just us.
Just the five of us.
Okay.
Can you
What do
be
we
in a
have-
union if you're already in a union?
What's that?
Can you be in a union if you're already in a union?
Of course. Why not? Why wouldn't you be
You
able
can be
to?
more than one
Oh,
union?
here we go more. He's in the actors union. Here
Okay,
we go.
you know what? Guess what? You're out of the Roz and Mocha union.
No, why are you even still in the actors union?
Because I'm an actor.
Okay.
Guess what?
Has it
Again.
helped you at all?
No.
No. Okay. It is not.
Sorry.
You did
All-
way better before you got in that stupid union.
No kidding.
Yeah. You did way better. Anyway. We're still doing the news, right? Is that what we're doing? God, I forgot.
No, we're starting a union.
Oh.
There's only room for 4 members in our union.
okay.
So myself, Roz, Cheesecake, and
Listen.
and Maria.
All right. Listen, comrade. Okay. I may not want to join your stupid union.
Why not?
If
We
we're
have-
not getting paid, I don't want to be in this union.
Oh,
Yeah.
What do you think we're fighting for? To get paid?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if I join the union, then I'm in trouble. If I don't,
You're not. I promise you won't get in
Are
trouble.
you in
guys.
trouble?
no,
I
I'm in
got it
trouble
under-
financially because we're not
Oh.
getting paid.
I got it all under control.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just give me an hour. Let me watch a YouTube video.
Okay.
How to start a union? It's,
On his non-paid
No, no,
YouTube.
no.
No?
Effectively start a
Oh,
union. How to
yeah.
effectively start a union.
Yes. I will,
Okay.
and then I will watch the one that is effectively start a cult, and then we'll see who can get more money.
Here,
Right?
drink this water.
Oh no.
Why don't you start a union and I start a cult, and we'll see it by the end of the year who can come out more on top.
Can I join your cult though?
No, you cannot
Why
join
not,
my cult.
please?
No.
I'll let you join my union.
No.
Guess what? You're out of the union.
No. First of all, it's a very normal cult. We do normal culty things,
Like,
Like-
what?
just cult stuff.
What do you
What's
wear?
the cult about?
What do you mean? Who cares what the cult is
What do we
about?
wear?
It's just cult stuff. Nice clothes. Nice
Okay.
clothes. Comfy stuff.
Where do we sleep?
Comfy stuff. What's that?
Where do we sleep?
Together.
Oh, I'm in.
Oh. See, I got your union busted already.
Damn it, guys.
The the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I don't know what the hell I wanted to do here. I cannot wait for this Saturday night movie. It's the sort of starting, the very beginnings of Saturday Night Live back in 1975 when Lorne Michaels had this crazy idea. And Jason Reitman put it all together, and the trailer looks incredible for it. Willem Dafoe and JK Simmons, two of the stars. Damn it, Maury, catching up with Willem Dafoe on the red carpet at TIFF.
Willem Dafoe, do you have to audition for something like this, or do they just give you the part?
He just asked me to do it. I talked to Jason. He told me what it was. He told me what the setup was, and I said, yeah, I'll do that.
How important has SNL been in your life? Like, is it something you've always watched?
Very, very important. I mean, it really marks... When it started was just about when I moved to New York City. And I was a young actor, and it had a big impact on me.
And you're only 30 years old now.
That's right. That's right. Hey, the check's in the mail.
He's badass, Willem Dafoe, huh?
Love him.
God, I love that guy.
Green Goblin.
Speaking of badass, JK Simmons, sorry. Also in Saturday Night.
JK Simmons, when they present this to you, do you have to audition for a role like this, or because you're JK Simmons, they just give you the part?
Well, when you say they present this to me, you're using the royal they, meaning Jason Reitman, because it's not an offer for me anymore when it comes from Jason. It's an assignment. He tells me, this is my next movie, and this is the part you're going to be playing, whether you like it or not, whether it scares the crap out of you or not. You're playing Milton Berle in my Saturday Night Live movie, and I say, yes, sir, Mr. Reitman, and I show up when I'm supposed to and regurgitate whatever he put on paper, and try not to literally regurgitate at the same time, and try not to talk over anybody else when they're trying to interject and say something nice. It's hell.
Thank you so much. And live from Toronto.
Hi.
Oh. Derp. Derp. You tried, Maury. You tried.
I did.
Listen, buddy, you gotta put it on.
I love the joke, though.
Play that again for me. Can you play the setup for me real quick?
Thank you so much. Oh, my gosh, thank you. And live from Toronto.
Hi.
That's like the funniest thing. One more time? All right. Ready?
Yeah.
And live from Toronto.
Hi.
So stupid.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Man, the government just keeps doing our army so dirty. So the Defense Department spent more than $34.8 million on new sleeping bags for the Canadian Army. And last year, hundreds of soldiers who were headed to a joint exercise in Alaska with the Americans asked to use the old 1960 vintage sleeping bags.
Why?
Troops who had used the recently purchased all-purpose sleeping bags late last fall found several critical issues, they said. The critical issue discovered by the soldiers was, quote, lack of warmth.
What? Yeah, they're thinner. Newer sleeping bags are thinner.
During the training exercise last fall, soldiers reported that even though they used both the inner and outer shells and slept in tents heated with stoves, they were still cold. According to the internal briefing, the new sleeping bags were, quote, better suited for use in weather conditions characteristic to late spring or early fall.
Bruh, where are they going again?
Alaska.
That ain't late spring, early fall weather, though.
Defense expert Rob Hubert of the University of Calgary said that he was curious as to what sort of weather testing they actually conducted on the new sleeping bags before asking soldiers to sleep in them in the freezing cold, adding, I wonder if they should have just gone to Canadian Tire.
So embarrassing.
They probably would have gotten better sleeping bags.
$34.8 million in sleeping bags that aren't warm.
So what happens to them sleeping bags now?
You can't use them.
Like Marketplace?
I guess.
But what I don't understand is, like, how do you spend that much money and not realize that they're not warm?
They don't, because it's the government. It's the government.
So embarrassing.
They got some contract.
Tire. Think of all the Canadian Tire money they
Yes,
get.
they got some contract and they just bought them all. And they're like, here, guys, go. And they're like, it's minus 30. And they're like, you're going to be fine.
But they didn't bring backups just in case.
They're soldiers.
Yeah, you can't bring a backup.
No, if they're doing a test drive, you don't think that they bring
the test wasn't for the sleeping bags.
Oh,
no, the test was to defend the North against Russia.
Well, are they wearing proper pajamas?
Yes. Issued. I don't know. You don't bring your own, right?
So embarrassing.
They did them dirty, man.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I got to play you this. Lottie Moss, who is the younger half-sister of Kate Moss, released a video where she was talking about how she tried Ozempic, and it really messed her up, and that she OD'd on Ozempic and had all these health problems and had to go to the hospital. So here's a clip from her podcast, and this is the one that's going around where everybody is like, oh my God, stay away from Ozempic.
Ozempic. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I definitely tried it. When I tell you it was the worst decision I ever made. So if this is a warning to anyone, please, if you're thinking about doing it, do not take it. Like, it's so not worth it. I took it for 2 weeks and I've never felt so sick in my life. I felt so sick one day. I'd said to my friend, like, I can't keep any water down. I can't keep any food down, like no liquids, nothing. I need to go to the hospital. Like, I feel really sick.
Okay, sounds terrifying, right? And it is. And there's a lot of people who are not Team Ozempic, okay? There's a lot of professionals who are not Team Ozempic. But that story is horrific. Now, there was parts of that story that were left out in that edit that has now gone viral. You want to know what was actually cut out of that story?
Yes.
Here's more from Lottie Moss.
It was the worst decision I ever made. So if this is a warning to anyone, please, if you're thinking about doing it, do not take it. Like, I was not feeling happy with my weight. I had a friend and she could get it for me. And it was kind of below board. I'm not going to lie. It was from a doctor, but it wasn't like you go into the doctor's office and he gives it to you, prescribes it to you. He takes your blood pressure and he takes all of these tests, which is what you need if you're going to go on something like Ozempic. The amount that I was taking was actually meant for people who are 100 kilos and over. And I'm in the 50s range.
Oh, shoot.
But anyway, I took it. My friend had got it for me.
Right. My friend got me Ozempic for somebody who's twice my size, and it caused problems. Yes.
Duh.
You idiot.
Really
what are you doing?
Side for a second.
Yeah. What are you doing? This is the problem. Can you get it for me? I can get you some
Well,
Ozempic.
that's why the people who actually need it can't get it, because of people like this.
Thank you.
Right.
Idiot.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I got to get your thoughts on this, Mocha, because you're a huge fan of The Rock. And he's talking about party tricks. And he's got one party trick that he can do for kids, which goes over really well. But then he gets into the party trick that he can do at adults-only parties. And I need your thoughts at the end of this. So here's Dwayne The Rock Johnson talking about how great he is at parties. Then we'll come back.
What's my party trick? If it's a party for little kids, I could transform into Maui. They all start to gather around. I know it's a lot, the hair, the bod. When you're staring at a demigod, I make my pecs bounce and the kids go crazy. It's awesome. It was an adult party. Well, with tequila, I do this thing where I can pick up a grape. Not with my hands, not my feet, not in my mouth. Right now, my publicist is like, please, God, don't say any more. Don't, please.
Okay.
What The Rock is cooking.
So I assume he means his ass,
Yeah,
right?
there's no other way.
However, I think most people could pick up a grape with their ass.
Not it.
I
hurry up,
don't
say not
think
it.
so.
Maria, hurry up and say not it.
Not
But like, wouldn't you just have to sit on a grape and clench?
yeah, but
right?
you could squish it before you pick it up.
Oh my God. But I would say that most people, so I start thinking maybe it's not ass.
Oh, you think it's like nose? Nostril?
No,
Armpit?
no,
Wait, what?
Toes?
no, he said not toes.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
So now I'm like, I want to see that trick.
Not it.
You mean he's using the people's...
Yeah, I don't know.
What?
I don't
No, I
because
don't think he's doing that.
I think anybody can sit on a grape and pick it up with their butt cheeks.
So you don't think he's talking about the people's ass? You think he's like the people's...
Yes. I don't know. I don't know.
I still think he's talking about
What
his
if
ass.
it's his chest? Because he can make them
No, he would say his chest. He would say the Rock's pecs.
The
right?
people's pecs.
The people's pecs. Yeah.
I still think he means
biceps.
butt.
It's not the people's nose.
No, it's definitely his bum cheeks.
It has to be, but
I don't
everybody
think so.
can do that. Everybody can pick a grape up with their butt cheeks.
I just want to reiterate, not
Have
it.
you, Roz? Have you tried
Can
it?
you do it?
I wouldn't know, but I can't imagine it's difficult.
I dare you to try it.
You put a
Not
grape on
here.
it. You
Go
put a
do it
grape
at
on the
home.
table. You go up. You sit on the grape and you clench your butt cheeks and you stand
No.
up.
You can't put it on a table. It's got to be on the floor.
Okay, that's fine too. He didn't say on the floor. First of all, Maria, what are you doing making up weird rules to the ass cheek games?
I don't know why I'm so invested in this.
I know, Maria.
Like,
no, girl, we're not playing the game.
No, it's not. We're not actually doing this. I'm just curious.
Remember and just go with it when they do that with the coconut?
No.
Yeah.
Not coconut.
Yeah, he grabs it with his butt and then they would. They. I don't know what I watched.
I should not have brought this up.
Yeah, Maria, get off
Okay?
TikTok, please.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So they got some sort of tentative agreement to avoid the strike between the union and the Air Canada pilots. If that all went down, they could have walked off the job as early as Wednesday. This for Air Canada and Air Canada Rouge. All these cancellations were expected to happen, but the airline now says flights will continue as normal while union members vote on the tentative 4-year new deal. So good news for anybody who had booked anything, man.
Guan.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
The 76th Emmy Awards went down last night. Yes, these were the second Emmys within this calendar year because they had to happen in the new year because the actors and writers strike was going on all last year. So they bumped it to the new year. The Bear went into Emmys night with being the most nominated comedy series in Emmys history with a record-breaking 23 nominations for season 2. It won 3 of the first 4 awards of the night, including for Eben Moss, how do they say his name? Bachrach? Jeremy Allen White and Liza Cologne-Zayers. Eugene Levy and Dan Levy were the hosts of the evening.
Welcome, everybody, to the 76th Emmy Awards. Yeah. Also known as broadcast TV's biggest night for honoring movie stars on streaming services.
We're very, very excited to be here tonight. I think most of you know we are not stand-up comedians.
No. In fact, I wouldn't even really call us hosts. We're more like actors acting like hosts, which is a huge gamble for us. But if it goes well tonight, my name is pronounced Levy, not Levy.
And if things go south, my name is pronounced Martin Short.
Hey. But yeah, the Bear was the big talk of the night. And everybody goes back to this, and these guys were goofing on it too, which is that you have to remind yourself that the Bear, if anybody's seen the Bear, it competes in the comedy category.
The Bear is nominated for 23 Emmys tonight, making it the most nominated comedy in history. Now, I love the show. And I know some of you might be expecting us to make a joke about whether the Bear is really a comedy. But in the true spirit of the Bear, we will not be making any jokes.
That's a funny joke.
And here is Jeremy Allen White, lead actor in a comedy series for the Bear.
Thank you so much. My heart is just beating right out of its chest. Thank you to the Academy, my fellow nominees. I'm so honored to be in your company. Chris and Joe, thank you for choosing me. I'm so lucky. I'm so grateful. Thank you. My beautiful cast, I love you forever. I love to work with you, and I want us to be in each other's lives for forever. I love you so dearly. Jesus Christ. Okay. This show has changed my life. It has instilled a faith that change is possible. That change is possible if you are able to reach out. You are really, truly, never actually alone. I thank this show. My parents, I love you. Annabelle, my sister, you're here. I love you so much. Thank you for coming with me tonight.
Oh, playing them off.
And Louie,
come on.
I love you
Come on now.
How you gonna do that to
much.
cousins?
You are my heart. Thank you, everybody.
Damn.
Good for him. I'm happy for that.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
You want to hear Justin Timberlake talking out in front of the courthouse because he had to go in and do his plea deal on his DUI in the Hamptons? Because remember, he has to do. I think he got away with it. Like the fine was between $300 and $500 for drinking and driving.
And I promise you won't do this again.
Well, I guess that's what this sort of is that you got to get up in front of a microphone in front of the courthouse and address this. So here's Justin Timberlake.
As you may know, I try to hold myself to a very high standard for myself. And this was not that. This was not that. I found myself in a position where I could have made a different decision, but I've had some time to reflect on that. And I also understand by the fact that all of you are here that I have a platform, you have a platform.
We all have a platform.
We share that platform.
On the platform.
And so what I'd like to say
on this platform
to everyone watching and listening,
at me on my platform,
even if you've had one drink,
even on the platform,
don't get behind the wheel of a car.
No, sir.
There's so many alternatives.
Take a platform.
Call a friend.
Oh, damn. I know, bro. There's so much going on.
Take an Uber. There's many
over.
travel apps.
Okay, we get it. You're sorry.
Anyway, yeah.
It sounds like a car crash in the background there.
I know. And it was long too. Like they had him out there for a while.
You stand there and you talk.
You better just do that, right?
I don't care. Freestyle it, whatever.
Yes.
But the clock is ticking.
You are not walking out of here not saying nothing for $300 for what you did, right? So anyway, there you go.
Was there a crowd or no?
There was a lot of people behind him. I don't know if there was fans or anything like that. I'm not 100% sure.
I guess
but
they
there
would
was.
know.
It was a big. It was like there were people there. Like it was a thing. It was a whole thing. Yeah, he did not look comfortable at all.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
The FBI are investigating another apparent assassination attempt on Donald Trump. Ooh. So this was at the golf course down in Florida, and the guy was in the bushes pointing like a machine gun, like a rifle through the bushes. And then Secret Service, I guess, go to the hole like after Trump is golfing. If he's on the 8th, they go to the 9th, send a crew up there, make sure everything is okay. And they saw like a gun pointing through a fence. And then they started firing at the guy, and then he took off and like got in a car and bolted. And then somebody wrote down what the car looked like, and then they got the guy in the car. He's a 58-year-old. This is the second time in 2 months. Nobody's going to golf with Trump anymore.
No one's going to go anywhere near him.
Nobody's going to. He's going to be
Between
golfing
now and November?
alone.
Yeah.
Even after November.
Yeah.
Golfing alone forever. Yeah, and it's crazy. I never thought about that. Like, you see the security at the big events and everything else, all this stuff. But, like, and then he just goes on a golf course. Like, there's so many places to hide
Doesn't
on
he
a
own the golf course?
Yeah, but there's so many places to hide on a golf course. Like, all you got to do is get on a golf course. You could hide on a golf course for a week without anybody finding you. Just, like, sitting in the bushes. Right?
I guess.
That seems to
You
me
camp
like
out.
I would never golf again.
Yeah.
If I found out that I was on the 8th and somebody was on the 9th with a gun, I'm like, that's
guess
the end
what?
of
It's
golfing.
Trump. He's not scared of
It's
anything.
the end of golfing. I know. Well, that's because of an illness, though. It's not because of anything else.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Lil Wayne, oh my God, this clip was so sad.
Bro.
So it was announced that Kendrick Lamar was going to be doing the Super Bowl halftime show, which meant that Lil Wayne was not doing it. Nobody had officially offered Lil Wayne the gig to do it, but he's from there. He's the hometown guy, and it was just devastating for him. So here's Wayne.
Forgive me for the delay. Just the delay, I want to say I had to get strength. I had to get strength enough to do this without breaking. That hurt a lot.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm talking about? It hurt a whole lot. I blame myself for not being mentally prepared for a letdown, for just automatically mentally putting myself in that position like somebody told me that was my position. It hurt a whole lot. But y'all are amazing. It made me feel like not getting this opportunity. And when I felt like you guys reminded me that I ain't without y'all.
Oh, Wheezy F,
that's
baby.
So many people being like, it's going to be you. Of course it's going to be you. It's
know.
Jay-Z producing it. It's your hometown. Of course it's going to be. So in his head, right, and he had said that he did a lot of stuff as far as releasing music and he had a whole plan.
I know. Everyone gassed him up.
Whole plan leading up to the Super Bowl. Oh, I feel bad for that guy. And that's a terrible video to have to make too, right?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
A lot of people on social media wondering if Jelly Roll was the right choice at the Emmys last night.
What do you mean?
So
I didn't watch. So I
People
don't know.
love Jelly Roll.
We all love Jelly
Nobody's
Roll.
dogging Jelly Roll. Okay. But people are wondering because he came out and did the "I Am Not Okay" song during the In Memoriam segment.
That song.
And some people were like, "This is a song about like, you know." Contemplating suicide and depression and that maybe it was not the best fit for an in memoriam. So here's a little bit of Jelly Roll.
I believe that music is therapeutic. I believe that music can heal. I also believe that storytelling is just as cathartic. I hope that this song can act as a healing moment for those mourning the storytellers we have lost this year. If you are feeling lost or alone tonight, I want you to know that it's okay to not always be okay.
Oh my God. I can't with the song. It gets me every time.
I don't think it's right for the in memoriam segment though.
Oh my God, this song. No, I can't listen to that song. Guys,
I wanted to listen to that.
I'm sorry.
It makes me cry every time.
I'll turn my headphones down. I'll let it play out for you.
No,
Maria.
I don't want
I'll
it.
turn
It's
my
fine.
head-
It's fine. It's fine.
listen to it by myself
I don't
later.
think it's appropriate. I don't think it was the
I
right.
think
the right
maybe
choice.
because it would like I think maybe he was trying to get it like the song is more than just what it's about. Like it's about everyone going through mourning and you can not be okay during mourning. Like I think that's why he chose that song and they chose that
Is
song.
that what the song's about?
No, I'm not saying that's exactly what it is, but I'm saying that's probably the reason why he chose it because the title "I Am Not Okay," like it's okay to not be okay.
But even his message made it sound like that everybody who died this year in show business died of suicide, right? Like even when he said
I think
that
songs can change meanings as you see fit.
Like it's a beautiful song,
It
right?
is.
But it's
Gorgeous.
it's not "Wind Beneath My Wings."
So people are mad at
just
him
not
or
mad.
mad
Nobody's
at the
mad
at the Emmys.
Nobody's mad.
Oh, okay.
They're just like, was this the most appropriate song for the
Got it.
in memoriam segment?
What would have
That's
been more
all-
appropriate?
That's all. I mean, I don't know. "Wind Beneath My Wings," like I just said. Right? That song should be played at every in memoriam.
Don't mess with my Jelly Roll,
Right? Nobody's messing with Jelly Roll, but was it appropriate? That's the only question. Was
Okay.
it the most appropriate song? Some people are saying no. A lot of people saying, yeah, it was great. Some people saying no. Subject matter didn't match with what the in memoriam segment is all about.
Got it.
That's all they're saying.
Got it.
After 8 o'clock, damn it, Maury's going to reveal whether he dyed his hair bright red for $500.
Oh,
Got to
jeez.
get that out of the way.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Emmys last night, Eugene and Dan Levy were hosting the show, joking about everybody likes to take more than their allotted time for their acceptance speech.
Before we get to our first award tonight, we just wanted to chat about acceptance.
Please, in what can only be described as a cruel joke, 2 Canadians have been put in charge of playing you off tonight.
Canadians don't like interrupting anybody. It goes against our nature.
Confrontation in general is anxiety-inducing, especially for my 77-year-old father, okay?
I don't like it.
The man is frailer than he looks. He gets palpitations from time to time. I'm hearing about tendinitis.
Okay, that's good. No. The point is.
Yeah.
If you're going to say anything meaningful or emotional or, God forbid, political, just, keep it short because the pressure alone on me.
Yeah, I don't want to be alarmist here, but having to cut you off could kill this man.
Okay.
So one person who was doing a speech last night and actually beat the orchestra, so they tried to play him off.
Yeah.
And then he let him have it, was John Oliver, who dedicated his win to his late dog.
Thanks to everyone at HBO, Nina and Casey in particular. I also want to thank, it's going to be very silly, our dog. We had the most fantastic dog, and she was at our wedding, and she got us through a pandemic. She was with us for the 2 pregnancies, and perfect choice of music. We had to say goodbye to her. And There you go.
Oh.
It is. I feel like Sarah McLachlan right now.
Yes, John Oliver.
She was an amazing dog, and ouch. I would guess I want to. This isn't just for her. This is for all dogs. All dogs. You're all very good girls.
Yes, big up to all the dogs now.
You all deserve a treat. Play me off now. Thanks so much.
Yo, that's amazing. So good. I love you, John Oliver.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
The Ig Nobel Prize is a satirical prize awarded annually to celebrate 10 unusual or trivial achievements in scientific research. So the prizes are legit. The research is legit. But none of it is really it's a lot of nonsense, but nonsense that could one day lead to something. But these are crazy research projects that students and teams work on. The top prize this year was given to a group of scientists who discovered that some mammals can breathe through their butt.
Wow. Sorry. What?
So the winning team in physiology found that administering oxygenated liquid through the rectum into the intestines of pigs, rats, and mice with respiratory diseases helped alleviate symptoms, which inspired a new treatment method for artificial respiration in humans. So here are the winners.
The Ig Nobel Physiology Prize is awarded to Ryo Okabe, Yuhei Yokoyama, and Takanori Takebe for discovering that many mammals are capable of breathing through their anus.
Oh my God, is an actual crowd there?
Yes.
First and foremost, thank you so much for believing the potential of anus for breathing potential.
Bro, there was a crowd and everything.
Okay. So some of the other awards went to, there was a team in Australia who flipped a coin 350,000 times and found out that it is not really 50-50. And they say coins are slightly more likely to land on the same side that they started on. The Botany Prize went to a study that found that some real plants will imitate the shapes of fake plants if you put them next to each other. The Physics Prize went to a study that looked at the swimming abilities of dead trout.
But they're dead.
And the Chemistry Prize went to a study that used a process called chromatography to make sober worms race against drunk worms.
Bro, that sounds like a party. Also,
thank you so much for believing the potential of anus.
The potential of anus, right? These guys know.
Believing.
Thank you so much for believing the potential of anus.
You're welcome,
right? Hey,
yeah, that's
always
science.
always have.
That's science.
Always
right there.
have.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Well, Miley's being sued for copyright infringement by Tempo Music Investments. This is over Flowers and the Bruno Mars track, When I Was Your Man. And a lot of people, like when Flowers came out, everybody was sort of in this agreement that it was a response to that song, right? And so they now want money. And they also want Miley to never be able to perform this song again.
Oh, wow.
So Tempo Music claims that there are so many musical similarities between Miley's Flowers. Yes, we know that. And Bruno Mars's track. Yes, we also know that. Mm-hmm. They claim that the melody, harmony, and chorus in Flowers are substantially similar to that in the verse of When I Was Your Man. We all know this. Mm-hmm. And that Miley's song copies the chord progression and mirrors some of the lyrics as well. We all know that. Mm-hmm. Tempo Music says that Miley, her label, and producers all had access to Bruno Mars' song. So did everybody else. Mm-hmm. And they're going after Miley again for money, and they want her to be barred from performing or distributing the song Flowers. It is worth noting that Bruno Mars is not a plaintiff in the lawsuit. So this is somebody who owns a piece of the song or the catalog or whatever it is, and now they're coming after...
Yo, if anybody needs some money, it's Bruno Mars.
Right.
Isn't he in debt? Like
I think
in
he
Vegas?
owns a bunch of casinos money. That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Right?
Oof, that's right. So anyway,
it's like, yo, bring me up a piece.
I know. I want to play you this. It's a mashup between the two songs. So I love Flowers and I love When I Was Your Man. But when you put them together, it's actually a pretty badass duet.
Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same.
We were good, we were gold, kind of dream that can't be sold. We were right till we weren't, built a home and watched it burn. I didn't want to leave you, I didn't want to lie. Started to cry, but then remembered I'm
too young, too dumb to realize that I should have bought you flowers.
I can buy me some flowers. Write my name and say
Kind of cool, huh?
Yeah, this part sounds nice together.
Yeah. Anyway, lawsuits. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Everybody wants their money. I think they should do that live one time.
That'd be so good.
Really
live.
great. Yeah,
Wow.
like really great.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know how that didn't happen with the hype at the beginning. Like, I don't know how they didn't get together and just do that part live somewhere. Like somewhere.
Could have made a lot of money.
Yeah.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Sean Diddy Combs was arrested at the Park Hyatt Hotel in New York City yesterday. He was caught off guard, and according to a person familiar with the situation, he had been living at the hotel for several weeks. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ that Diddy's arrest was scheduled for today, but something happened that caused the feds to move in a full day earlier. It appears the action was taken in connection with that ongoing criminal investigation into the alleged sex trafficking and other offenses that led to those search warrants being issued for Diddy's homes in Beverly Hills and Miami. As TMZ reported, the grand jury has been hearing testimony from various accusers over the last few months. Diddy's attorney says that we are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution. He is an imperfect person, but is not a criminal. To his credit, Mr. Combs has been nothing but cooperative with the investigation, and he voluntarily relocated to New York City last week in anticipation for these charges. So Diddy arrested. They took him to the FBI offices in New York City yesterday. Crazy.
Do you think, so the grand jury, right, in this case, is this one of those situations or one of these cases where the jury has to be, because of the severity of the charges, the jury has to be like locked away in a hotel, away from their families, like no access attack? It's not that, is it?
No. So a grand jury is when they bring in a bunch of people. It's actually a bunch of people, right? And then what they do is they lay out what they have, and then the grand jury decides whether there's enough to proceed with charges.
Oh, got it.
Right. So over the course of months, they've just been recalled to sit there and just have people explain to them all the evidence they have. And then they say, is it enough? Do you feel to lay charges? And then the grand jury comes back and they say either yes or no. And in this case, it was a yes.
Oh, yeah.
So
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I don't know who this is. She's a YouTuber. Maybe you know Maria. Her name is Valkyrie. Do you know who that is?
No, I don't actually.
So she did.
Is that the girl? She's a gamer too?
I think so, maybe.
Valkyrie?
Valkyrie.
Yeah, I think she's a gamer, like on Twitch as well.
Or Valkyrie. I don't know how she pronounces it. Valkyrae.
Okay.
And so she was on somebody else's podcast. And the question was, who was the worst celebrity experience that you've had? And I don't mean to like disappoint people or anything, but she says Jason Momoa. Here's the clip.
I have to say Jason Momoa.
Really? Aquaman?
I just saw him like mistreat some of the crew, and it was pretty disappointing. It was after a very intense scene, and it was a very emotional scene, so maybe he was still in character. I don't know, but I just was kind of surprised by how he treated like some of the crew, and it was like,
what would he do? Like he said, give me a coffee.
He was just really mad at them that they weren't doing something right. The way it was like setting up like the shot and stuff, and like he was just angry, like really mad and like yelling. And so I was like, man, this is like not a good work environment. Like I would not be happy working under these conditions.
Damn. That podcast she was doing is some other guy who serves you chicken wings during the podcast, right? But only when I was watching this clip, like this Valkyrie girl, right? Her makeup's done, her nails are done. She doesn't touch a chicken wing, but the guy who's hosting the show just sits there and eats them, like while he's talking. So everything that he says, his mouth is full of food.
It's also on like a really cheap-looking paper plate.
It's terrible.
Yeah, but guys, it's chicken wings.
Why are you hating? Jeez, man.
What do you mean? I'm not hating on chicken wings.
No, we're hating on the paper plate and the plastic
the guy
tablecloth.
with the greasy fingers, and he's like smacking his lips. And like,
yeah, you hear it the whole time she's talking in the back. It's gross.
Nobody wants to watch that.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Man, the Portugal wildfires right now are crazy. I don't know if you've seen any of the video on social media. Wow. They received pledges from support from other European partners as it battles forest fires that have killed 2 people already. About 5,000 firefighters battled 26 fires yesterday. The fires have burned homes and stopped traffic on several of the major highways throughout Portugal in the sort of mid-north region. The risk levels have been varying between very high and highest. National Civic Protection Commander Andre Fernandez said that the situation is not out of control, but it is very complex. He says today will be difficult, and so will tomorrow. 25,000 acres were lost to forest fires by the end of August in Portugal. The videos are crazy, man.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Lotto Max tonight.
Let's go,
Canadian
baby.
first. Jackpot has reached 80 mil.
But I got my OLG app open right now.
The draw for
Buy
I
my
find it
tickets.
so confusing to
How do you
use the
play?
OLG app. I really do.
Why?
I don't know. I find buying them and then checking them and everything. You got to hit another link when they send you an email. The whole thing is it's
so
not easy.
Look, auto pick, boom.
I like going into the store. It seems
Continue.
more legit.
Add a next
Yeah,
one.
I'm
Auto
sort
pick.
of with you more.
Boom. Auto pick.
How many
Boom.
how many of those extras do you do? Do you do
I
the extras? Max it out.
Everything.
Okay.
Auto pick. Boom.
What's your budget then? What are you spending today?
Bro, don't worry.
No,
Auto
I
pick,
need to know.
Boom.
I need to know. What are you spending today on Lotto Max?
I don't know, like $50?
Like $50.
Shouldn't that money be going to me?
What are you talking about?
Someone hasn't paid me yet.
I know it's not good when
I
you
have
owe
people.
somebody money and they just see you sitting there spending it.
I have people.
Willy nilly.
You have nobody, no people.
Come on now.
Anyway, look at this button that says add more tickets.
Yeah.
Guess what? Boom!
Add more tickets.
Add more tickets.
I love it. There you go.
Get me some more.
So that happens tonight. There's a draw on Friday as well. The top Lotto Max prize will reset to $10 million if there is a winner, and then unclaimed Max Million prizes will go back into the pot as well. So there you go.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Did you see that fight? Do you know that band Jane's Addiction? Did you know who they are?
I don't know who they are, but I
Okay.
saw something
Maybe you'll
because
know-
it was trending on the weekend.
It was
2 guys were like fighting,
It
right?
was awesome. So here you
But
may
they
know,
were like singing.
yeah.
And then one guy like went and punched the other guy.
Yes. So here is, I think maybe if you're going to recognize one song, you're going to recognize this song. I don't know. You tell me. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. There's a song called Jane Says by Jane's Addiction. Doesn't sound familiar at all?
No.
No? You don't know the song? Sort of like a crossover, popular kind of.
Well, you know Dave Navarro. He was married to Carmen Electra.
Yeah. So they were doing a show in Boston on Friday, a big reunion tour. And Perry Farrell, who's the singer, and Dave Navarro, who, as Maury said, was married to Carmen Electra. Black hair,
Very good looking.
right?
Oh, that guy.
Yeah. Now it all makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
I guess Perry Farrell is like not doing well, and apparently he was like drinking a whole bottle of wine on stage, and then the band was super good though. The band was real tight, and I think what the band were doing was they were musically making up for his vocal shortcomings, so they were doing a lot of stuff as a band to sort of cover for him because his vocal performance was a disaster.
Yeah.
And then at one point at the end of one song, the singer Perry Farrell walks over to the guitar player Dave Navarro, shoves him, and then punches him on
Yeah.
stage, right? And it was crazy.
Yeah, that's the part that I saw.
Yeah.
And did he come out? Was it him that came out after and gave his boy a hug? Somebody gave somebody a hug.
Oh, I don't know.
Watch
I
the whole
didn't
video.
see that. But anyway, so now they've canceled the rest of the tour. So Perry Farrell finally released a statement saying this weekend has been incredibly difficult, and after having the time and space to reflect, it is only right that I apologize to my bandmates, especially Dave Navarro, fans, family, and friends for my actions during Friday's show. Unfortunately, my breaking point resulted in inexcusable behavior, and I take full accountability for how I chose to handle the situation. Dave and the other guys in the band issued their own statement saying, due to a continuing pattern of behavior and the mental health difficulties of our singer Perry Farrell, we have come to the conclusion that we have no choice but to discontinue the U.S. tour. Our concern for his personal health and safety, as well as our own, has left us with no alternative. We hope that he will find the help he needs. We can see no solution that would either ensure a safe environment on stage or a reality that would allow us to perform nightly on a daily basis.
Perry
Our hearts are
Farrell
broken.
guy, he looks like he's in rough shape, man.
He's always looked like that, though. He looked like that when he was 20.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, don't go by. Yeah, don't go by how he looks. He's just
That's rock and roll, Mocha.
Yeah, he's always looked like that, and he probably always will. He's one of these guys who's going to live to 100. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He looks like he's 100 right now.
Yeah. Don't Google pictures of Perry Farrell.
Oh, yeah. No, this is kind of scary.
Yeah. If you're seeing Perry Farrell for the first time, and then you think, oh, what did he look like when he was younger? Same.
Also, this man has not seen sunshine a single day in his life.
He's very, very
Bro,
pale.
he's so pale. You
I
might as well
know.
be clear.
I know. He's so pale. He's blue. Imagine that guy punching you.
Yo, this guy looks like the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, and when he punched Dave Navarro didn't move. Right?
Of course he
like,
didn't.
Not like nothing.
It's like punching air.
I didn't even think he finished playing guitar. He was still playing guitar the first time he hit him. He was like, "What are you doing?" Wah. Right? Yeah. No. Anyway.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Jelly Roll sat down with Machine Gun Kelly doing an interview talking about how they used to hate each other, which I had no idea they had beef. But here's Jelly and Machine.
It is so funny how much I love you now because, like, God, I hated you so much.
There was only like 7 white rappers on Earth, so it was so competitive when you was in that pool that we were kind of automatically forced against each other anyways. And you were just skinny and handsome. So I was like, I was just a hater.
Damn.
I had no idea that Jelly Roll used to be a rapper. I was
going to say.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
So
about
here,
that
I'm going to play you
either.
something. This is Jelly from 2020, rapping.
Okay.
Cheers, bottoms up. I wish that I could roll my problems up. Wish I could put them in a pill and just swallow one. Wish I could solve them every time I pick the bottle up. Then I would chug. You know that I would kill it, get up. I wish that would end it. Drowning in my liquor meant the drama would be finished. But in reality, that would just be the beginning. I really
I
got
had
a
no
feeling
idea.
that it's time for me to change instead of really
He's
dealing with it.
good.
I just keep running away.
And-
I start dealing with on my plate, but it's hard when I'm sick.
Still rapping about the same struggles
Yeah.
that he's singing about now. Good for
So
him.
now I want to play you a clip. This is from 2016, before really, Jelly was Jelly, but Jelly was Jelly only to his dudes.
Okay.
Right? Like no face tattoos, nothing. This is at a house party where somebody just put their phone on Jelly and he's freestyling in 2016.
Chatted up, talking about 16, 5 for a half a pluck. And I ain't tripping, that's the real price. Jelly Roll is real white, but still got the coke and it's real nice. It's got a beige tint, but sometimes it's real white. And you don't know what 100 stacks feels like. It's Cashville, I said it's Cashville. I ain't got a gram to sell you, I crush up an Advil. I'm really on my money, man, I'm on a paper chase. I can't hear these little I don't know what haters say. Plus I'm on a mention like each and every day. A lot of rappers talk a lot of but they would never spray. Jelly Roll sitting clean to the eye stall. Plus I still
I
get
had no
money,
idea.
yes, I ball. Every time I see you, bitch gives me an eyeball.
Yo, Jelly.
Wow.
My man.
No
He's
idea.
so good at anything, man.
Fire.
Yeah, no idea. Didn't know that was even happening.
Jelly Roll, man.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Scott and Diana Anderson, who are both 60, they've been together 44 years. There's a thing at Disney World or Disneyland called Club 33, okay? And with Club 33, you get all this crazy VIP access, and it's very limited, and people wait years to get into Club 33. So you get 5 VIP tours per person a year, which is good for 10 people at a time per tour. Okay. So meaning all back rooms, no waiting in line for anything, nothing. You skip all the lines. Plus you get 100 park tickets to be used for guests if you want to give guests 100 park tickets, plus free booze, free food, access to the elite clubs and dining rooms, and you get to ride around Disney in Walt Disney's personal car on that train that goes around, right? So this couple waited 12 years to get their invitation to the Club 33. They paid $50,000 in dues alone in that first year, and they got their money's worth. They went 80 days that first year for like dinner and to the park and everything else. Currently, the dues is $32,000 per person, which is just insane. But on September 3rd, 2017, Scott was discovered in the park by security, passed out, maybe drunk on a bench. Security smelled wine. He said he had a migraine. They were informed. They were immediately kicked out of Club 33 forever.
Oh, no.
That is when they began their $400,000 legal fight to get reinstated, which they just lost.
Bro.
These
is Disneyland.
Grown people.
How old are they? 66 years old?
60 years old. Been together 44 years. They just paid $400,000 in legal fees to get back into the elite club at Disneyland.
Bro.
Right?
I don't love anything that much.
Do you remember the scandal, though? Do you remember when Katy Perry got in trouble from Disney because she had a pass to like Club 33 or something like that, and she tried to auction it off for charity for $160,000, and you're not allowed?
Mickey was like, no.
Yeah. You're not allowed to do that. Yeah.
Wow, you're oddly good at
Do
that.
that again. Do that again.
Not today.
There we go.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Oh my God, this is crazy. So toxic chemicals used in food preparation is leaching into our bodies, according to a new study.
Like what?
Okay. So more than 3,600 chemicals that leach into food during the manufacturing, processing, and packaging and storage of the world's food supply end up inside the human body, and some are connected to serious health harms. They say the study is the first to systematically link the chemicals we use in materials to package and process food and human exposure. 79 of the food processing chemicals found in the body are known to cause cancer, genetic mutations, and reproductive issues. Many more chemicals, they say, may be harmful in ways that scientists don't even realize yet. Listen to this number. Of the 14,000 chemicals known to migrate into food during processing and packaging, only 172 are actually monitored in the U.S. by the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey. Of 14,000, they monitor 172.
So progress. Right? Thank God for science.
You're the only one that heard that is good news. You're the only person listening right now who just listened to that who was like, oh, good news then, huh?
Yeah. Like we're still standing.
That is called delusion.
We're all still here. Feeling good.
Feeling good.
Are we though?
Yeah, feeling good. Feeling good. Yeah, you can't do that. Nobody wants to eat that stuff though, right? Do you worry about that stuff at home?
It depends.
Does your wife worry about it? She seems like she doesn't worry about it. She just sort of, not really.
Read the labels on everything.
You read the label, but you don't read the labels on what it's wrapped in, though.
No.
That never bothers you. What's something? Do you use plastic containers at home for anything?
Yeah.
You do?
I do.
Oh, see, we cannot.
I got plastic right here.
Oh, no.
Oh, is that bad now? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, frig, what are the rules? I don't know.
No.
You have to buy certain plastic.
I
if
know,
you
like,
are
no
going to
B-
buy, like, no BPA.
Got that.
No plastic is good.
No BPA?
No plastic is good.
What am I going to put all my food in?
Glass.
I brought a glass container today.
Yeah.
But I got plastic here.
No plastic.
Okay, I got
no
plastic
is
too.
good.
What about plastic water box?
No, absolutely
Get
not.
yourself a Stanley.
No, but I have like a reusable,
No,
like a Yeti plastic.
No, you should not.
I drink all my...
No,
Because
no
if that gets
plastic water
contact with
bottles.
sun, the plastic will literally melt into your water. That's
I
why
take this
like
bottle
plastic
with me
water bottles are
everywhere.
such a thing. Yeah.
No plastic.
know
No,
what the-
definitely
guys, what are the
not.
rules?
I'm telling you the rules.
Okay, what if it's a glass container, but the lid is plastic?
That's okay because you
as
can
long
take
as-
the lid off in the microwave and stuff and like put a
Yeah.
paper towel on top of it.
Yeah, maybe food's not touching it and stuff, and maybe that's okay, but
How about plastic bag? No.
plastic bags.
Like a Ziploc bag? Like when I put my, like if I put my sandwich in
I
the bag?
use too many Ziploc bags. I do.
That's no good. Like
It's not.
You
It's
guys
not
didn't tell me
good.
the rules.
They
It's
now
not good.
have
It's
a
not
sandwich
good. It's not
wrappers made from Ziploc that they give you a sticker.
Yeah.
And you can wrap them that way instead of using a Ziploc bag.
Yeah, it's not good. None of it's good, man. None of it's good. It's all in our body. I feel it right now. Does anybody else feel it right now? I feel it right now. As soon as I read that story, I feel it right now.
Well, that's gas, bro.
It's not gas.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Sean Combs is in jail, going to jail, denied bail. The U.S. District Attorney Damian Williams says that his office believes that Diddy is a flight risk and also a danger to society as he's allegedly resorted to violence against multiple victims. Prosecutors point out the fact that if convicted, Diddy is facing a mandatory minimum of 15 years and a statutory maximum sentence of life in prison. And they feel that he is a flight risk. If you missed the barrage of charges that were laid against Diddy yesterday, here is a little bit from the press conference.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice.
And then there was a part of that press conference where he said something, and I thought it was a mistake, but it wasn't, because he said that he would have these women that he would isolate and drug, and that then Diddy would hire male sex workers. And I was just like, did he mean like females, like that he was turning them into sex workers, whatever it was? But no, I guess the story was that he would hire male sex workers, and that for these freak-off parties, he would bring in these guys, and then Diddy would just like film it. So it wasn't even really him doing, like he would, and it would last days sometimes, right? And he would just keep them drugged. So here's a little bit more from Damian Williams.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB. The indictment alleges that Combs threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freak-offs. They also seized evidence of the freak-offs, electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs, and they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs. More than 1,000 bottles altogether.
1,000 bottles?
1,000. And then I guess he would like he had all these videos of people, and it's alleged that he held it over people as blackmail. All these videos, right? Diddy's lawyer Mark Agnifilo spoke outside the courthouse after Diddy was denied bail.
This was the first step. We have a bail appeal scheduled for tomorrow at 3:30 in front of Judge Carter, the district judge assigned to this case. I think that we made the points that we've been wanting to make. I think it came out. Mr. Combs is a fighter. He's going to fight this to the end. He's innocent. He came to New York to establish his innocence. He's not afraid. He's not afraid of the charges. There's nothing that the government said in their presentation today that changes anyone's mind about anything. He's been looking forward to this day. He's been looking forward to clearing his name, and he's going to clear his name. He didn't do these things. This was a 10-year relationship. There's no coercion. There's no crime. There's basically just, someone who brought a civil case and now is finding themselves as a witness in a criminal case.
No, but they got all the evidence, though, homie.
And apparently Diddy, like one of the women that he was abusing, found out that some guy liked her, and then he had the guy's car blown up. Like,
what?
That's one of the allegations. Yeah. Yeah, like I don't know whether the guy was in it or not, but like they blew up somebody's car or set it on fire or something like that. It's crazy. And I don't know what happens. There's a lot of nervous people right now.
Yep. Oh,
there's a lot of very, very
every high-profile celebrity,
nervous people.
Music, entertainment.
Anybody who has ever been affiliated in any sort of way with Bad Boy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
Politician, celeb, business person.
Half of hip hop?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right?
More than half.
And R&B
More than
and
half?
all that.
More than half.
All those artists.
Yeah. Like, oof, my God, what a terrible story. What a terrible person. Holy. 50 Cent yesterday was on the Drew Barrymore show, and then afterwards, he simply tweeted, "Here I am keeping good company with Drew Barrymore, and I don't have 1,000 bottles of lube in my house."
Oh, 50. Damn, bro. Oh, 50's hilarious.
50 Cent so much.
Oh, his comedic timing is always like so perfect.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Mr. Beast is officially being sued. A class action lawsuit against
Again?
Mr. Beast and Amazon filed on behalf of 5 unnamed contestants for Beast Games, the reality competition show. They're alleging that they were subjected to chronic mistreatment, stating the multiple causes of action related to the mistreatment and neglect suffered by the participants in Beast Games, which is a reality competition show. So it's going to be on Prime Video, and it's 1,000 participants competing for a $5 million prize. The budget, they say, is $100 million for this show. A lot of people passed on the show because Beast wanted 100% control over the creativity of the show. So according to the lawsuit, Beast Production Company failed to pay minimum wages and overtime, failed to prevent sexual harassment, created conditions that subjected contestants to infliction of emotional distress, did not provide participants uninterrupted meal breaks or rest breaks, and exposed contestants to, quote, dangerous circumstances and conditions as a condition of their employment. Apparently, part of the waiver, you have to sign a waiver when you go on these reality shows. And I guess one of the things that came out that people had to sign away is like, would you be willing to do stuff like jump off a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean? Would you be willing to be launched into space? Like all this stuff, like it covered the entire spectrum, because for this show, they wanted to do some really, really crazy.
1,000 people said yes.
Crazy stuff. And then there was that story that came out that when the contestants showed up, they kept their underpants. And then they only gave them their underpants when like they felt that they needed new underpants. It was like a whole wild thing, right?
Yeah.
But I think they're shooting that in Toronto, aren't they?
Yeah, I saw some pictures of the set.
They built,
really?
Yeah, they built like a whole giant thing, like a Squid Game set for this.
Where?
And I don't even know where it is. Like I think
I'm curious.
Downsview, maybe.
Yeah, because it's not anywhere. It's not the Portlands or anything.
No. I think it's like up at Downsview. They built this whole.
Well, that's the only place
giant-
that would have that much space.
Yeah, they built like a city, right?
So
to
Beast
shoot
would be
this.
Beast would be in town?
Yeah, he's in town.
Yo, Beast.
Yeah.
Yo, link up, bro.
No, I don't want to link up with that guy. You want to link up with that guy right now?
I talk to him.
Yeah, he wouldn't talk to us. He's laying low right now, man, as he should. But anyway, that is a massive show. 1,000. How many was on Squid Game? 500 something?
On the reality show?
Yeah.
Or I guess on the
What was
regular
it?
one.
How many was it? Like under 500, just under 500,
487, right?
487. This is 1,000 contestants for a $5 million prize.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I don't know if you saw the Jagmeet Singh confrontation yesterday in Ottawa. So everybody's hounding him about propping up the Trudeau government, even though he tore up their agreement, but he's still not willing to say that he'd do a no confidence vote to take down the government and all this other stuff. So he was walking into Parliament Hill and there was a bunch of protesters out front. And then one of the people in the crowd called him a corrupted bastard. And then Jagmeet turns around and like confronts the dude. And he claimed it wasn't him, right? But it's an interesting video to watch because like the guy was like really, really hounding him, right? Like he was all up in his stuff, tough guy. And then when Jagmeet turns around, he couldn't even make eye contact with him, right?
He started looking at his phone.
Yeah.
Jagmeet was like, yo, fam, I'm standing on business right here.
So here's that confrontation. It starts with you're a corrupted bastard.
Corrupted bastard. What is it? You want to say something? What? You want to say something? You say nothing? What was in that? You got something to say?
I didn't say corrupted bastard, but I said...
What you said?
No, I did not say
Who
that.
Who said it?
Somebody behind me said that.
Was it me? Was it you? No. You sure? If it was me, I'd admit it, buddy. Was it you or not? If it was me, I'd admit it. What'd you say then? I didn't see nothing. It wasn't me. It was a gentleman behind me, I guess. Who is it? Point it out. No idea who it was, buddy.
The gentleman.
My word. You sure it's not you? No. 100%. You're a coward. You're not going to say it to my face. Ooh. That's what's up. Say what? You didn't. If I said something like that to you, I'd admit it.
Jagmeet Singh.
God.
Jagmeet Singh coming through. Standing on business. Yo, that guy folded like a table.
Yeah.
The best was That's What's Up.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
That's What's Up.
That's my favorite.
You're a coward. You're not going to say it to my face. That's what's up.
I love that part.
Oh, God. Politics in this country is so crazy right now. It really is.
I love that everyone's go-to is always, who's the guy behind me?
Well, yeah, right? I don't know who it was. And when he said that, he didn't even look. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, God, what if there's nobody behind me?
Yeah.
You're a coward. You're not going to say it to my face. That's what's up.
Oh, for God's sake. So I guess next week is when the conservatives are going to have an opportunity to call a no-confidence vote and take down the government. Unless the Bloc Québécois steps in and does something. I don't even know how we have a political party in this country that only cares about Quebec, and they're separatists. And they have so much bloody power in this country. It's crazy how much power the Bloc Québécois has. So that could all go down next week, which means if it does go through, there could be actually an election this fall as opposed to fall 2025 when it's supposed to happen. So we'll look out for that.
You're a coward. You're not going to say it to my face. That's what's up.
That's what's up right there.
That's what's up.
They should all just say that. Everybody should end every sentence today in Parliament with "That's what's up."
Word.
Every sentence.
Big time.
That's what's up. And the best part was too is Jagmeet's turban was pink that day. You know what I mean? So he's like, you clown this guy in a pink turban.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Giancarlo Esposito, everybody loves this dude. And he had told a story years ago in the 90s when he had filed for bankruptcy and there was no work available. And he was so desperate that I guess the story was that he was going to get like a life insurance policy and then have a hitman kill him so his family would be set up. But he's just done a new interview sort of explaining what turned all of that around and why he didn't go through with it. And it was actually the early days of Breaking Bad.
I had a family living in Connecticut beyond my means. The bank was foreclosing on my house. My marriage was in a shambles. And then I thought, I just started scheming. If I got somebody to knock me off, death through misadventure, they would get the insurance. I had 4 kids. I wanted them to have a life. Like, it was a hard moment in time. I literally thought of self-annihilation so that they could survive. That's how low I was. The light at the end of the tunnel was Breaking Bad. And so I did a guest spot on that show. And even then, after doing one guest spot, they had me come back for another. They offered me a contract. I said no. And the reason I said no was because it ended the 3rd season. Okay, I'm going to say no to this. But I said to them, look, gracefully, I love this show. Let me know what the storyline might be when you come back in 6 months. And if you still feel the same and you're in the writer's room, you have something for me, I certainly will consider. And they did come back, and I had a contract, and I was on the road to finally starting to recover, put some money away. And then, poof, the rise, the Emmy nomination, all these things happened.
That's what's up.
That is seriously
right.
What's up? And how that show changed Giancarlo Esposito's life.
Everything. And now the crazy thing is that he so is good at being Giancarlo Esposito, but he's better at being Giancarlo Esposito as Gus Fring, that he is only ever Gus Fring in anything he plays. Like, if you saw The Gentleman, that Guy Ritchie show on Netflix, he's awesome in it, but he's Gus Fring.
Yeah. He's an amazing bad guy.
Yeah. But he's so great at
he's just
that
different
thing.
versions of Gus.
He's so
same thing in The Boys.
The same thing in The Boys. He's Gus Fring in The Boys as well. Yeah, you're right.
If you're super good at something, just do that.
Thank you.
Love that
That's
guy.
what's up.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Oh, yeah. Jason Sudeikis, it's his birthday today.
Hey, happy birthday, Ted
Jason
Lasso.
Sudeikis, Ted Lasso is, Mocha is
52?
52. Interesting. 49. Oh. What about Jada Pinkett Smith?
52?
53. Really? Yeah. How old was that August guy?
August
entanglement?
Alsina?
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now.
I read something the other day, or I saw something the other day, where they were talking about when somebody who's older, the math equation that allows you to date somebody younger, like your maximum minimum age, right? Which is, they say, to take your age, cut it in, take your age, cut it in half, and then add 7.
How does that make any sense?
Okay, Maria, do the math. Maria's 28.
No, Maria,
by the way.
it's not for you. Okay, yeah. Maria, what's
You said
that?
plus 7?
Yeah, plus 7. Yeah.
21?
21.
Oh,
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
But
See,
it's
that's
really
the
young.
youngest for you. Damn it, Maureen.
So you cut it in half.
Yeah, you
so
cut it.
20, let's just say 24.
No, cut it in half.
So 47 and divided by 2. Like,
okay.
I don't know,
Okay.
24.
Yeah. Let's say 24 and then add 7.
5, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31.
31. That's your youngest.
Oh.
Yeah.
21?
Look at Maury's face.
I mean,
you're married.
I know. There's zero potential, bro.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
All right, sports fans. Rogers apparently reached a deal to buy Bell's 37.5 stake in MLSE for $4.7 billion, giving it 75% of the company, Leafs, Raptors, everything else. So it's just one big company now that will sort of set the vision for this, and it's Rogers, and that is a ton of money, $4.7 billion. Oh, my God.
As long as...
Okay, who's getting fired first here for this deal? One of us has to go. We're not all making this. We're not all making it out of here alive.
Maureen's volunteering.
Maury, why you got your hand up, man?
You said, who do we think?
No, I didn't. No. You think who? Do you have an answer? Or do you think it's you?
I was worried it was me.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot.
As long as the price of my service doesn't go up, because then I'd be pissed.
Yeah, true. Same. That is a huge monumental deal, though. Should be great, hopefully, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I walked by the CEO with this red hair yesterday, and he gave me a look. That's why I'm worried.
You look like a company man with that red hair. Isn't Rogers all red? Isn't that their whole thing?
Maybe that's what the look meant. Okay.
Yeah, man. You look like you're like all up in it.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Billie Eilish and Phineas endorsing Billie Eilish and Phineas Eilish, I guess. What's his last name? It's not Eilish? Phineas? His last name's not Eilish? Never, I don't even know.
O'Connell.
O'Connell. Oh, there we go.
Billy O'Connell?
Yeah,
it's Billy O'Connell.
Endorsing Kamala Harris. And I'm going to say, I personally don't care if a celeb comes out to endorse anybody, although it is hilarious that the people that did show up at Trump's big convention have all, ghosted him. At least like when it's Kamala Harris and a celeb comes out, they sort of stick with him till the end. Like Hulk Hogan got naked. Like he was ripping his clothes off on that stage.
Yeah,
Hulk Hogan has not said one single thing since then.
Well, he had a shirt
Right?
under the shirt. He
I
didn't
know,
get
but
naked.
still, he was just like ripping
Doing
everything
his thing.
off. He was doing his thing, man. But I will say that if you are a celebrity and you are going to endorse somebody and you are going to read from some sort of pre-recorded script, you have to rehearse it at least a few times so it sounds remotely like you actually believe the words you're saying. Not saying they don't feel this way, but when you see the video that Billie Eilish and Phineas Eilish did, it is like a one take, and they almost sound like they're doing it under duress.
Today is National Voter Registration Day, and we are asking you to please join us in going to iwillvote.com to check your status and vote early like we do.
We are voting for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz because they are fighting to protect our reproductive freedom, our planet, and our democracy.
We can't let extremists control our lives, our freedoms, and our future. The only way to stop them and the dangerous Project 2025 agenda is to vote and elect Kamala Harris.
Vote like your life depends on it, because it does.
Go to iwillvote.com and make a plan to vote early.
Love you guys.
Just sound like you care, right?
So enthusiastic.
Yo,
They get paid for that?
It sounds like they're being held by the town.
Yeah, it sounds like they're being paid.
Pharrell Williams doesn't like it when celebrities talk politics. He did a recent interview, said, I don't do politics. In fact, I get annoyed sometimes when I see celebrities trying to tell you who to vote for. There are celebrities that I respect that have an opinion, but not all of them. I'm one of them people who says, what the heck? Shut up. Nobody asked you. He goes on to say, when people get out there and get self-righteous and they roll up their sleeves and stuff and they go out there walking around with a placard, shut up.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know Pharrell felt that way.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
The story in Lebanon with the Hezbollah terrorists is just about the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, this is out of a movie. Did you see this?
No.
So, Hezbollah, terrorist organization, they've been launching rockets in Israel, everything else, right? Iran backed, all this other stuff. So, yesterday at 3:30 in the afternoon Lebanon time, they stopped using cell phones because the head of Hezbollah thought that they were there was a security risk.
Okay.
So they got rid of all the cell phones and they gave all their fighters and their members pagers, right? And that's how they communicate. That's how they get their
Old school
instructions.
pagers?
Old school pagers.
Okay.
So they keep their pagers on them. And yesterday at 3:30 p.m., all of the pagers exploded at the exact same time.
Yo, what?
Okay, so they said originally that these pagers came from a Taiwanese company. The Taiwanese company said, no, we didn't make these pagers. They came from a company out of Budapest. And apparently, New York Times is saying that Israel is behind this, although Israel has not commented on it yet. In the spring, they found out that Hezbollah had ordered a whole whack of pagers because they were getting rid of their cell phones. At some point, that order was intercepted and like 2 ounces of plastic explosive was put into each pager. Then they were repackaged and shipped. Then they were distributed to the Hezbollah terrorists, and they just had them with them for months. And then yesterday at 3:00, they all received a message. Then there was a pause to allow them to take them out of their pockets, get them close to their face. Then they all exploded. And there was only enough explosives in it to really hurt the person holding it. Nobody in the general vicinity, right?
That's like straight out of a movie.
Now, the video you see, the crazy part is that a lot of people, when it went off in their pocket, like when it started to vibrate in their pocket, they didn't pull it out, right?
Oh, no.
So where do people normally keep a pager? Do you remember where people normally kept a pager?
No.
Front pocket.
Oh, right.
Front pocket. And then it exploded in the front pockets. It's like the craziest, like this is like something if you saw it in a movie, you'd be like, no.
Yeah.
Right? So anyway, 12 people dead, 2,700 injuries. 2,700 pagers all went off
That's
at
wild,
the exact
man.
same time. It is crazy, dude.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hey, Maria, you want to explain to people what the 666 rule is when it comes to dating? Or do you want me to?
Sorry?
The 666 rule, you don't know this? Women in the 666 rule?
No.
Okay, so the 666 rule apparently is women are limiting their wants and needs to men who are over 6 feet, have six-pack abs, and make 6 figures a year. Okay, so that's the 666 rule. Sometimes women throw in another 6.
Oh, yep.
That's it.
But we're going to go with just the 666, not the 6666.
Oh, I got it.
Okay? We're going to keep it to the the safe 3, as I like to call it.
Sure.
Okay.
The big three.
All right. Not the big 3, the safe 3. Okay.
Can you trade one for the other?
No, you cannot.
No.
So the problem with this is that somebody actually broke down what the options are as far as if you want the 666. Okay. So less than 20%, but let's say 20% of men make over $100,000 a year. Okay. Over 6 feet, that's like 13% of men total. Six-pack abs, it's really hard to figure out what that is. So they went into like obesity rates and everything else within countries. Okay, so at the end of it, they said actual men who would qualify for 666 is roughly 4.5% of men. Then the problem is you got to subtract all the gay ones.
Well, I'm single.
So you're single. That's why you're all single.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Ellen DeGeneres' Netflix comedy special comes out September 24th. And this is sort of the tour that she put together after she left the show or the show left her, whichever way you want to look at it. It didn't end well for Ellen, if you remember her whole persona and brand of being the, kind and the nicest person in show business really exploded in her face when people on her staff started coming out calling her a bully and a monster and all of this. And then so she's put this Netflix stand-up special together, and the majority of it is based around all of that and the perceptions of what you think of Ellen. It's called For Your Approval. Listen to this.
All right, well, let me catch up on what's been going on with me since you saw me last. I decided to take up gardening. I got chickens. Let me see what else I can tell you about. Oh, yeah, I got kicked out of show business. Yeah, the Be Kind girl wasn't kind. That was the headline. Here's the problem. I'm a comedian who got a talk show, and I ended the show every day by saying, be kind to one another. Had I ended my show by saying, go yourselves, people would have been pleasantly surprised to find out I'm kind. I didn't go into this business for money. It was about healing my childhood wounds. I thought if I could make people happy, then they'll like me. And if they like me, I'll feel good about myself. And all I can say about that is thank God for the money.
Damn, Ellen?
Yeah. You gonna watch that? Do you watch the Netflix comedy specials at all?
I do.
Do you watch any of them?
I'll bypass this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll watch.
You
Yeah,
gonna
I want to
more?
watch it
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Do you still hold like a place? Like you still think that Ellen is not what everybody said she was?
Yeah, I think
you
so.
do.
I mean, I try to because I just I think of her as like Dory from Finding Nemo and like someone who used to make me laugh after school when I'd come home. My parents would have it on.
But you know she's not, right?
What?
She's not Dory from Finding Nemo.
Yes, she is.
No, she's not.
The voice.
Yes, she is.
No, but she's not that, is what I'm
No,
saying.
I know, but
I know she's Dory from Finding
I know
Nemo.
she's not Dory in real life, Roz. Yes.
I mean,
Hold on, do you think that everybody here thought that?
No, I mean, she's not this like lovable thing.
But that's what I'm trying to hold on to. Is that?
But even though you know the sort of truth,
But I don't fully know the truth. That's
Yeah.
why I think I almost want to keep it that way. Sometimes it's better just not to know things.
damn it, Maura, you feel what way?
Oh my! I enjoy her comedy, but I know that she's the way she is. I was even on a tour at Warner Brothers, and the staff person at the store was like, "Oh no, she's not nice."
Yeah, people who would risk their jobs. It's so important for them to tell you how awful she is.
Yeah,
they risk being fired. They'll just tell anybody.
It's like a cry for help.
It is.
Here, buy this mug. Also call the police.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Eric Roberts, who is the brother of Julia Roberts and the father of Emma Roberts, has a new memoir coming out where he publicly apologizes to his sister for trying to take credit for her career. So he says that that's not only unfortunate, but it's untrue. I hope Julia will accept this more public apology. It was an asinine thing to have said. This is in his new book, Runaway Train. So he's over the years many times tried to take credit for her career. Back in 2018, he told Vanity Fair, if it wasn't for me, there would be no Julia Roberts and no Emma Roberts. As celebrities, as actresses, I'm very proud of that. And I'm proud that everybody knows I was first, because I was first by a long shot. I was the first to get a Golden Globe and an Academy Award nomination, and I'm proud of that. But I guess now, later in life, and he's off cocaine, he's sort of accepted his role in their world, writing, I imagine I will remain as Julia's brother and Emma's dad for the rest of my life. I'd like to make good on that and move aside proudly and with grace. That's part of the reason why I'm writing this book. That cocaine addiction led to Eric years ago losing custody of Emma when she was just a baby. And on a podcast back in July, he said that he can't talk about Julia or Emma, saying, I'm not supposed to talk about them, but I do, and I will continue to. I have a wild Eric Roberts story. I can't say it on the show. I'll say it on the podcast.
Why would you say that?
I'll say it on the podcast.
Why would you say that,
I'll say it on the podcast. Okay? I'll say it on the podcast. Actually, you know what? Can I write something down?
Yes.
Okay. I'll write something down, and I will write the word that I'm not going to say. Do you have a Sharpie? Give me a Sharpie.
Here.
I'll write the word that I'm not going to say.
Wait, are you going to tell the story now then?
Yeah, I'll tell the story now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Shoot.
Yeah.
Juicy.
Love story time.
Okay, keep in mind, this is the guy that took credit for Julia Roberts and Emma Roberts' career.
Okay.
Right? Granted, he was famous first, but that doesn't mean that, you can still say that after they've kind of surpassed everything. Okay, so I'm on some promotional plane years ago, and on that plane, it was me, a bunch of journalists, and it was Richard Branson, Drake, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Eric Roberts. Okay,
Wow, what a mix!
It was the weirdest thing, and we were allowed to sort of move around and interview them on the plane, right? I don't know what it was, some Branson thing, I think. And so I'm sitting talking to Eric Roberts, and I had just become like Roxy was little, like a baby, like into the 1 or 2 years, I think, right? And I'm sitting there talking to him, and we turn the cameras off, everything else, and then he just starts chatting me up, and he's like, what do you think of fatherhood? And I was like, it's great, it's amazing. And he goes, let me tell you something about fatherhood. He's like, you got a daughter, and I'm like, yeah, I got a daughter. He's like, that daughter is going to be everything. He's like, when they're young, you are their everything. You're their entire world. The father-daughter relationship is something that cannot be matched anywhere. You are the thing that they look most forward to seeing. You are their everything. Until the day that they start to, and then you're effed.
Whoa! Did you show them? They can see.
Oh.
Right? That was his fatherly advice to me.
Wow.
That was his
And
fatherly
your response?
That was his fatherly advice. I got up and I said, "Thank you for the interview," and I walked back to my seat.
Eric Roberts.
Right? That was his fatherly advice to a new dad. Right? Yeah.
And
I'm angry.
You have
Yeah.
your daughter,
Yeah.
Eric Roberts.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Also, just like respect.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Did he think you'd laugh?
Yeah, I think that he thought that it was very wise words.
Or that you were going to be like, hey, thanks for the advice. That was great.
Or I'd bro it up with them, being like, oh my God, I'm not looking forward to that. Right. That I'd sit there and bro it up with them. And I didn't bro it up with them. I just was like, thank you. Shook his hand, went back to my seat. Right? Yeah. Wow. So.
What a son of a.
I kind of want to punch him.
Right?
If I knew any of his movies, I'd say I'm never going to watch them again, but I don't.
Fair enough.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Man, I guess they're keeping Diddy so far, like, deep into a untouchable corner in that jail in Brooklyn, New York, so nobody gets to him, that it's actually a super pain in the ass if anybody even wants to go visit him. Like,
What do you mean?
It takes forever to get to him.
Oh.
Like, he's so far removed from where they keep the regular prisoners because they think somebody's going to kill him because it would look good on their prison record, not with the officials, but with the rest of the convicts.
Just clout.
Badge of honor, clout. So I think they're worried that somebody's going to stick him. And so they got him buried super far away, and they keep trying for bail, and he keeps getting denied. Here was Diddy's lawyer yesterday, Mark Agnifilo, outside the courthouse.
We're considering an appeal to the Second Circuit, and we're certainly getting ready to try the case. And so that's really what our focus is.
How did last night go for him? Did he give you any details?
I'm going. It's tough. Listen, it's all tough on him. It's tough on everybody.
Yeah.
And I expect that he's going to have to reach deep inside and find the resolve to go on and fight this case, which is what he's going to do.
I wonder if during the time that he's allowed out or when he has to get meals, are they just like secluding him completely, or they bring him his meals?
They bring him his meals, and they're because of where he is. They had been made long ago. Because they serve like everybody. They make a plate for Diddy, I guess. And then when somebody can bring it to him, they bring it to him. So it's like cold and gross. And he doesn't do his rec time with all of them. He'll do it in a different place or alone. Yeah. With the other people who are.
Is that because they're afraid that he's just going to get
He's going to get killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
for
the
sure.
number one target.
With the nature of the crimes and his celebrity status, somebody will kill him.
Okay.
Yeah, or beat the living daylights out of him, right? Yeah. Like there's one of the two. But he's not the man in there, at all. And I'm sure there was a moment where he thought maybe he would be, but I'm sure he realized that very early on that he was actually not the man in there.
That ain't it.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So Oprah did that huge deal with Apple TV back in 2018, and it ended in 2022, where they paid her untold millions of dollars to produce content for Apple TV Plus. And she had a non-exclusive agreement, and that's when she landed that big interview with Harry and Meghan, and she didn't run it on Apple TV. She ran it on. She sold it to CBS. It's crazy. So it was like this weird non-exclusive deal. But part of that deal was they were going to do a documentary about Oprah, and they hired the filmmaker named Kevin McDonald, who is really good, and he's done a lot of great stuff. And then they partnered him up with Oprah's longtime producer to do this documentary. So they shot this docuseries about Oprah. Oprah sees it, doesn't like it. So Oprah says, change this. Kevin McDonald says, I don't want to change it. It's my movie. And then Oprah gives back the money they gave her for this documentary, plus and buys it.
What?
To shelve it. So it'll never see the light of day.
She doesn't like this documentary about herself so much that she gave Apple TV all of the money that they gave to her.
For the documentary.
For the documentary.
Yes.
And then kept the documentary.
Yes.
And said, no one's ever going to see this?
Correct.
Suspicious.
Yeah.
What's in that documentary that she don't like, that she doesn't want us to see?
I don't think it's going to be anything scandalous because her longtime executive producer was the producer on it.
Yeah.
I think it may just be, and I have no idea.
Like the lighting?
I mean, it may be that. They wanted edits, though. I think realistically, she is so hyper conscious about her story and her image. I think it may, for me, what I think it is, it wouldn't be anything that Oprah did or said. It would be what other people did or said about Oprah. I think that it would be people in her world and in her life that knew her maybe years ago, or people in her family that she no longer feels a certain way about, saying something about Oprah that doesn't jive with the way Oprah has sort of laid out her past. I think it was probably something like that. I'm guessing it was something contradictory as opposed to something that Oprah said.
Imagine that. You got that kind of money.
Bro, and they had said it was millions that she paid back. Some people, there's a few people who claim to know, they deny that it was in the 7 figures. But most people are saying it would have taken millions to get this back. Yeah, crazy.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Something I wanted to run here. Oh, Lady Gaga. Remember the rumors years and years ago that came out where the people were convinced that Lady Gaga was a guy, like a man? Do you remember that from years ago?
Yeah.
And then,
vaguely.
And she never really addressed them. She never she never faced them head on, Maury. Am I right about this?
Not at all.
Not at all. So she shows up in the new Bill Gates show on Netflix called What's Next, and this happens to come up.
Do you think her alter ego character was sort of like a way of recognizing it when she did that character? Do you remember that character she did?
Jose Calderon.
Thank you, Mocha.
I'll never forget that. She was like black, slick back hair, leather jacket, biker, cigarette in the mouth. She looked badass. Jose Calderon.
Here's Lady Gaga, not Jose Calderon, talking about those old rumors.
So when I was in my early 20s, there was a rumor that I was a man. And I went all over the world. I mean, I traveled for tours, for promoting my records, and almost every interview I sat in, they said, there was this imagery on the internet that had been doctored.
Oh, wow.
And they were like, there's this rumor that you're a man. Like, what do you have to say about that? The reason I didn't answer the question was because I didn't feel like a victim with that lie, but I thought about, what about a kid that's being accused of that would think a public figure like me would feel shame? It's like sometimes, I guess what I'm saying is I've been in situations where fixing a rumor was not in the best interest of, I thought of the well-being of other people. So in that case, I tried to be thought-provoking and disruptive in another way. I tried to use the misinformation to create another disruptive point. People, I think, assume that someone like me that performs, that my performance is what's not real, but to me, that's the most real thing that you'll see about me. That is so much more real than all of the rumors that are designed to orbit me to gain more clicks.
Great answer.
Amazing answer.
Right?
One thing.
That was Lady Gaga, by the way, not
Jose Calderon.
Right.
But there's one thing that you may not know. I know that was a rumor and everything, right?
Yeah.
Dumb rumor.
Dumb.
Stupid rumor.
Sure,
Why do that
absolutely.
to Lady Gaga?
Yeah.
But there is one
Her name's
thing
Lady. Yeah.
that people may not know
Yes.
about Lady Gaga.
Which is?
And she never talks about it.
Which is?
The fact that she's Italian.
Oh!
Do you guys know that Lady Gaga is Italian? And she never talks about it.
I'm just an Italian girl from New York. Italian. Good Brooklyn Italian girl. I'm an Italian. So I'm Italian. But I'm Italian. I'm Italian, so I was a strong Italian female. Italian. I'm Italian. I'm Italian.
Gaga never talks about being Italian.
Never.
Ever.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
J.D. Power and Associates has released a new North American airport satisfaction study. It's not good news for Toronto, I'll tell you that. So, the most satisfying experience at an airport. So, the top 5. Number 1 airport, the mega airports, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Then Detroit, then Phoenix, then Kennedy, New York, and Dallas, Fort Worth. The least satisfying airports, mega airports in North America. The least, Seattle, Atlanta, O'Hare.
Ooh, in Chicago?
Yeah. Toronto, and then Newark. The last two.
Yo.
In North America.
We're one away from Newark, New Jersey?
Bro,
Yeah,
the last two. Toronto and
I understand
Newark.
why Newark is number one.
I would put Washington, D.C. on that.
Yeah, Washington's a pain in the ass because you could have jumped through so many more hoops just because it's D.C., right?
I didn't find Atlanta bad.
Yeah. I
Got
don't
the
know.
best food.
Yeah.
I didn't find
Colorado's great. That airport. I love that
What's wrong with
airport.
the Toronto one?
People, it's just not. I think that
Like once you pass security, blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
where do you want to
Well, no, but yeah, once you pass security, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, as
what
somebody
about
who's,
the time when security always drapes me up against the wall?
Yeah, like
empties all my luggage. How about all that?
I've traveled dozens of American airports and all the Canadian airports in every major city. And Pearson is the least satisfying experience of all of them.
I mean, but once
Without
you pass,
question.
there's good food.
No, but it's not
Bro,
about, it's sure, yeah, there might be good food, but guess what? Other airports have really good food.
I just still don't get the liquids thing because no one else is that strict about liquids.
Well, of course they are. Everybody's the same strict about liquids.
Not really.
It's a universal rule.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
I've flown through so many airports where like I've come back to Canada and the liquids they don't even check.
Oh,
I was trying to
Europe,
sneak
not
shampoo.
America.
No, in America.
In America.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
they take
they-
everything in America.
Oh no.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
What else? Saturday Night Live has announced a whole bunch of hosts and musical guests.
Hit me.
Nate Bargatze is a comedian, and Coldplay on October. Gene Smart and Jelly Roll are kicking it off on
Hey.
October 28th, and then Ariana Grande and Stevie Nicks, and then Michael Keaton and Billie Eilish, and
Oh,
then
wow.
John Mulaney and Chappell Roan
Oh, wow.
are doing their thing.
Stevie Nicks' first time back since 98.
Yeah, no, like longer than that even. I think it was like the 80s.
Who?
Wow, Stevie Nicks.
83.
83.
Wow.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Canada's violent crime problem is like a real problem. So there's a new study that came out, and they analyzed 10 years of police reporting violent crime data in Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Peel region, Toronto, York region, Ottawa, and Montreal. Sexual assault and robberies are rising nearly everywhere, with increases in every city except Ottawa. Edmonton and especially Winnipeg have crime rates that far exceed those of other cities. Winnipeg and Edmonton consistently occupy the worst spots for homicide, aggravated assault, and robberies. Winnipeg has nearly 3 times as many robberies as the next highest city, and Edmonton has 4 times as many aggravated assaults as the next highest city, which happens to be Winnipeg.
Oh, wow.
The cities in which violent crime is increasing aren't necessarily those that have the highest overall violent crime rates, but York, Peel, talking to you, everybody, right? Montreal and Winnipeg have experienced the most significant violent crime growth, which is crazy.
Yeah.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Question for you before we leave. If you are watching a horror movie,
Yeah.
do you prefer the experience of collective or intimate? Meaning, if you're watching something that is truly scary,
Yeah.
would you prefer to watch something truly scary like at home on the couch with Jenna, or do you prefer the experience of watching something truly scary in a theater full of people?
Like convenience at home, but I would prefer
Not convenience, the experience of being
I would
scared.
say in the theater.
You
So then
do.
that way I know, like if a scary part happens and if
Yeah.
I react and if
Yeah.
everybody else reacts at the same time, I'm like,
Right.
okay, cool, I'm not alone.
Really, huh?
Like we all reacted to the same thing at the same time.
See,
at
I
the
will
same time.
never watch a scary movie in a theater.
Why?
Because I like to I like to get into my own head, and if somebody breaks that, it ruins it for me.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like it ruins it for me. But Halle Berry was on the red carpet for her new scary movie, directed by the guy who did what's the name of that movie? The Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah.
And it's called Never Let Go. So she lives out in a forest with her 2 kids, and there's like an evil haunting, and they've been there forever. And in order to go and like get food and supplies, they have to tie themselves and tether themselves to this little cabin. So they go out and fight evil, but they have ropes around them.
Okay.
And they're tethered back to the cabin. Anyway, here's Halle Berry talking about how she likes to experience a horror movie.
I like to watch them in a theater with a lot of people. Yeah. I don't like to watch them all alone at home. No. I like to be, I think horror part, which is why I'm glad this movie is in the theaters and not on streaming right now, because I think movies like this need to be experienced in a big theater. The sounds are always very important. The senses are important. And you need to feel other people.
Yes.
You know, I like being scared with other people.
Yeah.
See?
That's the fun of it.
That's you. That's you.
That's me and Halle Berry.
Yeah.
We're
Also,
the
you would
same.
never watch one alone at home.
Why?
Never.
Why wouldn't I?
Never. You're gonna watch a horror movie alone at home?
Yeah. During the day.
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10
on Kiss 92.5.
KISS925.com.
Or download the Kiss 92.5 app.